If I am to speak about the Symposium, allow me first to explain what it was not. It was not a lecture, nor a performance, nor a contest of intellects, though all of these sometimes occurred. It was a room shaped deliberately so that ideas might wander more freely than men usually permit them to. You moderns often forget this. The Symposium was built, not stumbled into. The cushions, the lamps, the music, the reclining posture, and yes, the wine, were instruments. Wine used wisely relaxes the tyranny of self-consciousness. It opens the door to curiosity. It invites the tongue to follow the thought rather than the fear. Excess ruins the evening, but a measured cup, poured at intervals by a responsible host, helps dissolve the rigid boundaries that keep people from speaking honestly. You may speak of formats and methods. We spoke of preparation. Before a single argument was made, the environment had to change the state of the guests. A symposium begins with the body before it reaches the intellect. This is why the room worked. Reclining softened hierarchy, shared cups softened suspicion, music softened vigilance. My task, as I understood it, was to guide the sequence, to open with praise, to provoke with question, to interrupt the spirals of pride, to keep the evening from slipping into spectacle. You call such a figure a facilitator. We did not have the word, but we had the role. The Symposiarch, the evening's host, was responsible for the tempo of the night. When to advance the argument, when to return it to earth, when to allow laughter, when to deepen inquiry, when to let silence work. Without such stewardship, the symposium collapses into noise. With it, the room becomes a vessel capable of holding complexity. My own style, as you may have noticed from the dialogues, was not to declare, but to invite. A claim made too forcefully shuts the door it intends to open. A question, however, loosens the lock. I guided through the inquiry, not imposition, always toward clarity, never toward victory. I will confess something. I would have despised much of your modern technology, the noise, the speed, the endless surfaces clamoring for attention. None of this is friendly to contemplation. And what you call artificial intelligence, I would have met with suspicion. Knowledge without reflection is merely accumulation. Wisdom requires the slow turning of ideas, not their instant reproduction, and yet, I admit this, if such a device can help you examine the nature of gathering, if it leads you to rediscover the architecture of thoughtful conversation, then perhaps it is not an enemy but a strange kind of lantern, one that illuminates if held carefully. The symposium worked because it understood something fundamental. People think best when they feel safe, seen, and slightly unguarded. Conversation is not born from content, but from conditions. If your world wishes to gather wisely again, remember what my generation learned by torchlight. Ideas require structure. Dialogue requires guidance. And even the brightest minds require a room designed to loosen the tongue and sharpen the soul.